Hello, welcome back to Ancestral Healing. Today we're going to be doing something super interesting, a little nerdy, but definitely important for all to know. We're going to be diving into the history of vegetable oils, aka seed oils, aka the most toxic food, and not even a food, the most toxic food sold in the supermarkets. And I'm gonna give you guys a breakdown of how they came to be and why we're consuming them left, right, and center. They are often called vegetable oils, but they're really seed oils or bean oils. I'm talking about corn oil, cottonseed oil, rapeseed oil, sunflower oil, canola oil, peanut oil, soybean oil. I mean, I may be missing a few, but those are some of the most popular seed oils out there, and they are consumed pretty much, they're a part of every household unless you have the education and the background in knowing the history of where they come from. You most likely are consuming vegetable oils. I know that I was up until 3 years ago, and actually my family still consumes vegetable oil, even though I pretty much beg them not to, but I still find it in their cupboards. But don't worry, I always throw it out. Yes, it's me. I'm the one who throws it out, Mom. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a history lesson because if you didn't know, I'm going to let you know now that vegetable oils were not part of a human diet up until the early 1900s. Before vegetable oils came into play, we were consuming animal fats. Beef tallow, beef suet, and lard were very, very popular and can be traced back all the way to the ancient Egyptians using tallow on their skin. Seed oil was not originally used for food. It was used as a lubricant for machinery. Yes, you heard that right. It was used as a lubricant for machinery, a lubricant for body, and a lubricant for making cosmetics. This all changed when Procter & Gamble came into the picture. If you don't know, Procter & Gamble were soap and candle makers. In 1911, Procter & Gamble discovered how to harden the oil, and they made a product called Crisco. It was really the first formal introduction of vegetable oil in the food market. In order to use seed oils as a source of food, their basic chemistry needed to be altered to resemble the chemistry of saturated fats. So now we got a case of science playing into the picture in order to transform something that is not originally designed for human consumption into human consumption. Okay, so because I'm not really a sciencey person, I wrote down some notes and I'm going to talk to you guys about this process that they use to make vegetable oils resemble tallow and beef suet. So this is done through a process called hydrogenation. There we go. This complex process involves pressure, heat, hexane, which is a solvent, and a metal catalyst. When you press seeds and beans, what comes out is a gray, rancid mixture which must be steamed to eliminate bad odors, bleached to remove the color, and winterized for stability, and then enhanced with artificial colors and synthetic vitamins. So this is the process of hydrogenation. Sounds bad for us, in my opinion. So when Procter & Gamble discovered this process of hydrogenation, they saw it as a perfect opportunity to create Crisco and therefore introduced vegetable oils into the food market. And this is also when margarine was introduced, and the butter and margarine industry were constantly fighting. Butter didn't want margarine to come in. Margarine really wanted to come in, to the point that margarine was not allowed to be yellow. So they would like sell it with this kind of like a dye that you could dye at home when you bought your margarine. So it was this huge, huge thing. Crisco replaced all animal fats in cookbooks. Butter was gone. It was all about margarine and Crisco, and they claimed that it was much easier to digest Crisco than animal fats. It was advertised as new, modern, more favorable, and more ethical in comparison to animal fats. So the history of vegetable oils doesn't end there. In 1948, thanks to being the beneficiary of the Procter & Gamble sponsored Walking Man radio contest, the American Heart Association went national with a $1.75 million windfall. A national fund-raising campaign in 1949 netted another $2.7 million, and the American Heart Association became very influential and successful in American culture. So don't mind me just reading my notes over here, but as many of you may know about Ancel Keys, he was an American physiologist, and he became very, very interested in studying heart disease in the United States. He proposed the cholesterol hypothesis as the cause for heart disease. And this was the idea that saturated fat in the diet, mostly from animal sources, caused an increase in blood cholesterol levels. Years later, he concluded from his extremely flawed studies that dietary saturated fat causes cardiovascular heart disease and should be avoided. So Ancel Keys, what happened was he was actually appointed to the prestigious and influential American Heart Association Nutrition Committee. So they put him on the board, and following shortly after, the American Heart Association issued the first ever dietary recommendation to replace animal fats in the diet with vegetable oils. So this was like in the 1940s. This is when it became almost like a guideline for everyone to follow. You guys, we are going to replace animal fats with vegetable oils. This is what your the people in power in the health field are saying. So everyone obviously started to follow because we listened to the experts. So this is a very summarized history of vegetable oils. I've watched a lot of videos. I find this super, super fascinating. I'm going to link in the description below the video that I watched and took notes on. And I actually did, when I had the Meters Instagram account, which I no longer do, I did an infographic. So I spent a lot of time studying this, and I'm going to share some resources with you below. One awesome video is called How Did We Get Here? The History of Vegetable Oils. If you watch it, it will go more into detail about what I've said in this video, but I wanted to keep it kind of brief. But I did want you guys to have a full understanding that vegetable oils are not these innocent little oils that just randomly appeared for our own health benefits in the grocery store. No, I think that they are there to harm us, and I think that we should be very careful of consuming vegetable oils, especially when they have been heated, because that can lead to many, many negative health effects. One of the terrible things about vegetable oils is that they have these known toxins and this molecule called aldehydes, which is highly unstable. And what science has shown is that they disturb DNA and RNA functioning, and they create oxidative stress in the body. Vegetable oils and the toxins that they create have been implicated in neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. They are a formal marker for cancer. They are not natural in any way, and we were not evolutionarily designed to be consuming these fake oils. I would say that if you're trying to better your health, if you're trying to change your diet, if you're trying to optimize how you feel, the number one thing that I would do first, probably even before eliminating sugar, which should be your next step, processed sugar, is eliminate the vegetable oils. It won't be that easy because if you're eating out at restaurants, most restaurants use vegetable oils. I don't think I've come across many restaurants in my life that do not use these toxic seed oils. Seed oils are obviously much cheaper than using quality tallow or pork lard. So restaurants, what they tend to do is if they're deep frying, they'll use the same oil over and over and over again. This results in your food being fried in an oil that is full of toxic byproducts. There is no way that your health is not being impacted by this. So whether you are vegan, vegetarian, carnivore, paleo, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. This is where we can find the common ground and agree, really, do your due diligence and do your own research. But there is no reason why humans should be consuming toxic seed oils. My recommendation, and the recommendation that I see all across the board from people who are highly knowledgeable and trained in the field of nutrition and understand the importance of animal fats in our diet, is to ditch the seed oils and instead go for beef tallow, beef suet, pork lard, butter, ghee, duck fat, and a really, really good olive oil and coconut oil. But those last two should not be used at high heat. So that is just if you're making a salad, if you want to make a little sauce, olive oil and coconut oil are your better options. So that's really about it. I really encourage you guys to do a little digging into learning more about the truth around vegetable oils and how they came into play. I'm going to put a really disgusting video in the description if you guys are ready. It's how it's made video, and you'll see how canola oil is made. So it's just so you can get a little bit of an idea of how these healthy oils are made, and maybe you will be less inclined to eat them if you know what the whole process looks like. Anyways, guys, I'm so excited because this Friday is my 3-year carniversary for both Danny and I. So we're gonna be doing a video on Friday talking about that, talking about what we've achieved in these 3 years, how we feel, and what we want the next year to look like. So I'm super pumped about that, and I hope that you guys have an awesome week ahead. Thank you so much for the love. If you haven't already, if you can please subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate that. And I hope that you enjoy these other 2 videos on the screen. Take care, you guys. Have a great week.